So, welcome back. How are you this summer?
It was good. How about you?
What were you How are you this summer? Was good. How are you?
You're the next one I knew you said how
Oh Lord, this is our first time we'll carry off. But how was your summer? Like you
good.
interned?
So I interned for a company called Dafuku Automotive, and it's a Japanese-based company. We install conveyor systems at different car plants. So, for example, we had a servo rail project, and I don't really know how like people are gonna understand that.
Just break it down as much as
So,
you
in a car plant, essentially, the cars go on a roller coaster. It starts with the very bare minimum. It's like the frame, and the car just goes down a roller coaster, or the assembly line. That's what it's called. And you add on to the car. So you may add wheels, doors, the body. So it goes down the assembly line. So we basically installed the roller coaster. So we installed the parts that goes under the car. So the car's on a skillet. It's like kind of like a table, and the car sits on the table, and as the car sits on the table has legs that rolls down the roller coaster. So we installed the roller coaster at the Nissan this summer in Canton, Mississippi. I went to Honda, North Carolina, and Mebane, North Carolina, and there was an AGV project. It was automated guided vehicles. So that's a small line. It's they make ATVs there. So, like Nissan plant in Canton is huge. They make like 5 different cars there. But North Carolina Honda, they only make ATVs and lawnmowers. But they stopped making lawnmowers. They only make ATVs now. And so the line is really small, and they're being made on an AGV. So the AGV is the assembly line for this case, and it's the roller coaster. And it's just a small smart cart. And it rises and falls whenever it goes through the line. So when they're putting the body on, it may need to be low, but when they're putting the tires on, it may need to rise up so they don't have to bend down. And that's all programmed. So we programmed the smart carts that go through the line. And for this summer, we had a problem where one of the smart carts was, when it was turning, it was going offline. So we had to, we made the reader go higher, so the reader on the line was too low, so it couldn't actually see what it was doing. So that was a simple fix. It was a nice trip to North Carolina. Then we went to Toyota Tupelo, Mississippi, and we installed a power and free rail. So not all of the plant, not all the cars in the plant are just on the floor with the skillet going through the plant. Some of them are above the floor and they're hanging from a rail. That's the power and free rail. So they're hanging from a rail and they're in a carrier. So there's like a carrier holding the car that's kind of faced like this, and the car sits in the carrier and it goes through the plant like that. So we installed a power and free rail that goes on top of the carrier, and that was cool. And next week I'm going to San Francisco for Tesla, and we have an engineering study. Not much work, we're just testing, make sure everything's up to date, and seeing what needs to be replaced. So
sounds fun. How many internships have you had since you started school?
So I did one in the IT department, figure out I don't want to do that.
So the point of an internship.
I did one under a software engineer. It was okay. It's cool.
So do you like this one?
Yes, this one is cool. I get to travel. Every project is different. It's not the same thing. For when I was in the IT department, I was pretty much fixing printers, fixing scanners, setting up computers. So it was very repetitive. With Dafuku, I can go set up a power and free rail. That's like a mechanical engineering project. Go do an AGV project. That's computer science, electrical engineering. You meet a lot of new people. So when we install these different projects, we get subcontractors to install them. So we get welders, foremen, and just meeting new people, project management. So I've gained a lot of skills. I'll say I've gotten better at project management, gained some mechanical engineering skills. I'm a computer engineer, so I don't really take mechanical classes. So being in the field doing mechanical projects, I realized I like mechanical engineering. Some electrical skills, just paperwork, making OIs, quotes. OIs is order informations. Team meetings, had to be very organized. So just a lot of things I've learned.
Yeah. I'm glad you mentioned your skills because I was going to ask you, what do you think you gained? But I'm glad you also mentioned how they also let you travel, how you get to meet new people. So it sounds like those are some things that you're looking for in a job outside of the actual job duties, which is really important. Okay, you want to prioritize what I love to say VIPs, which stands for values, interests, personality, and skills. So you want to get something that's compatible in all those areas and not just your interests. You really value variety. You really value, you have an extroverted personality type. We know your skill sets and your interests, so it sounds very aligned for you.
Yeah, and speaking on the traveling, I'm not a big traveler at all. So when I went to North Carolina, that was my first flight. So I had to learn how to book a flight, how to book a rental car. It was just a new experience for me.
Yeah.
So when I go to San Francisco next week, that'll be my second flight. The flight wasn't bad at all. Like, if you're nervous about flying like I was very nervous.
Yeah.
It's really not that bad at all.
It's just the takeoff part.
Yeah, just the takeoff and the landing and going through the clouds is so like when we were shaking, I would just look at everybody else, and if they were calm, I was like, okay, we're fine. But if they start panicking, then I knew that's how I need to start panicking.
I was nervous either way. I don't care if you like we all.
But I'm saying, like, when we was going through the turbulence, I was just looking around, and everyone was like, it's cool. So I was like, okay, I was like, okay, it's not that bad. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. So that's over with, but I know you're still employed by them.
Yeah,
but,
so it's essentially a co-op. So it's all year long I'll be doing school, and on the weekends, if I can, I'll go to different projects. Like next week, San Francisco, I know we got a project in Nissan coming up.
Okay.
And I'll be there for weekend work. I think we'll do it over like 4 weekend span, so I'll go home every weekend and do that. So in winter break, I'll be there full time again. So yeah.
Okay, so that's great. That's a good segue into balancing.
Yeah.
You know, now you're back being a full-time student again, but now you got a couple other jobs under your belt. So like, how are you handling that?
So
Plan to handle that.
I don't really know because it's the first week of school. I'm still getting adjusted to school.
Yeah.
Doing the podcast, working in the career center, Dafuku, then being a student. It's a lot right now. I got a Google Calendar with everything listed out. I'm trying to be organized. I got everything.
You are a senior. This is your first time using that app.
I've been had Google Calendar, but I'm serious now. So I got everything on Google Calendar, like what day we're doing a podcast, what time my classes are, what time my meetings are, even what football games I want to go to, what time the football games. I even got what color to wear to the football games on my Google Calendar. Like, I got a lot on the Google Calendar, so I think just being very organized is going to help me out.
Yep.
And just communication, communicating with my bosses, let them know what's coming up in school, if I can make it or not. They're very understanding.
Yeah. So let's talk about what's coming up. So you have your not final round of career fairs because we're going to have a spring, but we have a few events going on in the Career Center. You being the Vice President of Career Ambassadors, let them know what's going on.
Okay, so the career fair is on September 25th. That's the all majors and the graduate students fair. And the STEM fair is the next day, September 26th. I don't know the times. Probably 10 to 1 like it normally is. So that'll be in the pavilion. And how would you say students can get ready for the career fair?
Well, definitely dress to impress, meaning professional. But a few things that you can do beforehand is download the app Handshake. Handshake is kind of similar to LinkedIn as far as its profile features and being able to connect with employers, but you can also look at our events beforehand, like our career fairs, and see which employers are coming. Not only can you see what employers are coming, but you can also see what job openings they have, and you can prepare your resume or customize your resume to those job openings before you even get there. When you get there, we're gonna have a table map as soon as you enter that shows where each employer is. So sometimes students may worry about how am I gonna get there and talk to all 70 employers. You can go ahead and see who's coming and prepare for them in advance. That way your trip throughout the fair could only be just 20 minutes and you can make it back in time for lunch or for class. So we offer that kind of preparation beforehand. And as far as customizing your resume, you can always set up an appointment with the Career Center to get that customized.
Okay, and you said prepare for the career fair is prepare for the employers. What do you mean by prepare for the employers?
That could be multiple things. So prepare for employers could be, like I said, getting your resume customized to those job openings that you may see on Handshake. You can also prepare by visiting our career closet, which we're having an open house next Wednesday from 10 to 4 p.m. I believe. And we give away free professional attire to students and you do not have to return it. You can also, like I said, set up an appointment with the Career Center and practice kind of like small talking, because that seems to be kind of a challenge for some students. So if you're a little nervous about that, we can coach you through that as well. And then also too, sometimes employers offer interviews on spot. So we can also offer interview preparation as well.
I know you mentioned you can see on Handshake what employers are coming.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you can even see the name of what employers are coming. So sometimes what I'll do, I'll add them on LinkedIn and reach out beforehand and say, hey, I see you're coming to the career fair next week. Really excited to talk to you. And so when I see them at the career fair, they already know that I'm coming.
Isn't that how you got Dafuku?
Yeah, so Daifuku, well, I met them at the spring career fair, reached out. It didn't really go as planned for the summer because I guess they were hiring in the fall. They were really looking for more full-time employees, not internships. But I just kept reaching out, maybe like once every couple months, just following up. How are you guys doing? If a job opening comes up, please think of me. Just something small. And when they came for the fall career fair, no, that was in the, what was that? When they came for the spring career fair, I met them in the fall career fair. When they came for the spring career fair, they remembered me and they were like, Jari, I'm going to set you up. I'm going to send you the info to the South Regional Manager and we're going to set a meeting. And they just following up, constantly reaching out. They remember that and it worked from there.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's so nice.
So as far as what to wear to the career fair, what do you suggest young men and young women to wear?
Okay, so professional attire pretty much looks like, as far as color schemes, you want to aim for neutrals. So your blacks, your grays, your navy blues are your friend. Some people do wear khakis and creams. I think there are nice suits out there, but I always say that's like the second round interview color. Always dress like it's your first round interview, basically. For those who identify as male or prefer the male attire, you can do like a black blazer or what do you call it, a suit, the whole suit set, white collar shirt underneath it and some type of neutral tie, nothing too crazy. And then for our ladies, you can just wear, you can do a dress, you can do a pantsuit, collared shirt, once again, still the neutral colors. Black is, when in doubt, just black it out in my opinion, or navy blue. But you want to make sure things are like knee length. You don't want to be too heavy on perfume. Speaking of perfume too, stay away from the scented resumes. I have actually seen an employer break out in hives because somebody tried to stand out with the scents and everything. So try to be mindful about that. And then also too, like jewelry, try to take out nose piercings, lots of accessories right here. Keep it very minimal. Very demure, very cute. I had to. Very professional, very, mindful with it.
Yeah.
So just try to aim for professional neutral colors.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So WrestleMania is coming up?
Yes, so we have a few workshops coming up before the career fairs to help prepare you. Like I said, next week, next Wednesday, we are on the 4th, I think that is, we're gonna have the the career closet open house. So you can come get your attire for the career fair or an interview or whatever you need it for. After that, we have Resumania, which is basically like it's in a speed dating format. So you come in really quick, it's a stop and go, get your resume critiqued by a employer. We're actually gonna have employers there. You can be in and out, or you can take the opportunity to network with that employer, because you never know what could come out of that conversation. After that, we're gonna have a interview workshop, and I believe those are the 3 workshops before the career fair, so, okay.
Yeah, so how was your summer?
I was waiting for this question. My summer was not as eventful as yours. You know, I'm a full-time employee, hashtag big girl. When you work for a college during the summertime, those who don't know, because I always get a question too, like from my family members who like don't know too much about like college, and they're like, oh, you're off this summer, right? No, 8 to 5, Monday to Friday. Yeah. So not much, just working, doing my thing. But the beauty about working in higher ed in the summertime is there's a lot of downtime, obviously, because students are gone for the summer. It's very not crowded. So, I tapped into some hobbies this summer. That's what I did. Pickleball champion. Like Ted now. I had a bad week that time. But anywho. Yeah, so I found myself, I had fun. That was the main purpose of that.
That's good. I'm glad you enjoyed pickleball.
Thank you, Penny LaBelle.
I know that you're getting your doctorate in May. So
yeah.
How is that coming?
Buddy, I just scheduled to defend my proposal. Okay. So I'm going to be doing that the first week of October. So wish me luck. And for those who don't know, when you get into a doctoral program, you basically work for like a year and a half on a topic. And halfway through, you have to go and defend your proposed topic.
Right.
So I just got my committee together. Everybody agreed to serve on my committee. We just have to meet, and then I'm going to go in and say, hey, this is my proposal. This is the research that I think we should be talking about, which, for those who don't know, is enhancing higher education career services for first-generation neurodivergent college students. So I'm going to go in there and propose pretty much the literature review, which is what manuscript 1 is. And, they're either going to say yay or nay. Really rooting for yay, because if it's nay, I'm out.
So, nay, like you don't get your doctorate? Or
No.
You start over?
You got to re-enroll into the program.
4 years?
It's a 3-year program, but yeah, you got to restart.
Wow.
I'm pretty confident, though. Staying prayed up. So I'll move forward, and then I graduate in May, but I only graduate if I believe, if I successfully defend the entire thing, because this is a proposal in October, but it's proposed, and then I finalize my research right before graduation.
Okay.
And then I'll defend again, and then they'll go, check, you graduated.
So for people that don't know much about a doctorate degree, I know it's a PhD, a EDD. Mm-hmm. Can you explain the difference between those?
So the differences, keep in mind, also depend on the institution that you're getting the degree from, and then also to the program. So I'm getting my doctorates in higher education from University of Mississippi, and just based off the information on the website, EDD and PhD, they're both doctoral degrees, but it depends on what type of positions you want to take. Although if you did want to go the faculty route and become a professor, you can also have an EDD. But the way a PhD is set up is basically PhDs, when you're out there collecting information or research to put in your paper, right? PhD students work together to produce that type of research, okay? EDD students will go and study the research that's put out there to implement into existing practices, into the departments that they're in. So the way that I study my, instead of producing research, I'm pulling existing research that's out there, and I'm using that to implement that into the practices that I do as a career services professional.
So what's the difference? I mean, like, what does it stand for, PhD and EDD?
Good question. Philosophy of something, and then I think E may stand for like the education part. Cut that out. Why are you going to put me on the spot?
I thought you would have known.
No, I'm doing my best, okay? Hey. I know what the difference is though, y'all, okay?
Okay, so, what are you looking forward to in the school year? I know you're teaching EDHG 301, getting your doctorates. What else are you looking forward to, I guess?
I'm a very, future-oriented person, but I try to live in the moment at the same time. Very crazy balance for me, but I think I'm just thinking about what's my next steps. Right. I mean, my grad date came way sooner. Like just last year, I was applying to get in this program, and now I'm like about to apply for graduation.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really just trying to figure out my next steps and how I want to utilize my degree, and moving up. I want to take on positions that are what I'm doing now. Because the beautiful thing about my job is I'm blessed to do 3 things that I absolutely love: career services, a little bit of marketing, and then teaching. So I would love to do those 3 things, of course, in a higher paid. You know what I mean? We all know what's up. But in a leadership role as well. I love what I do in this entry level role. But been here for about 3 years now, so I'm ready to get a new challenge and so in the midst of trying to pursue that challenge, there's things that I have to do in my current role to prepare myself for that. So just really what I look forward to is just challenging myself as a professional and just growing even more.
That's good.
Yeah. So what are your plans as a student?
Just enjoying every day because
your senior year.
Senior year.
Like, do you have any like specific plans as a senior, like a to-do list, or what do they call it, bucket list?
Go to Georgia versus Ole Miss football game.
Here, y'all gonna see me. Maybe not at the game, but at the tailgate. Some tickets like $300.
Go to that. I'm gonna try to go to as many games as possible. I'll miss the next game because, like I said, I'll be on vacation. Not vacation. I'll be
Wait, this game?
I'll be at this game. Next week I will miss. It's not a big game.
Yeah.
But I would want to go to all the home games.
Yeah,
to
right.
Experience it. Just like I said, enjoying the moments, every moment, because like I said, I'm about to be graduating. I'm trying to decide if I want to apply to the MBA program. If you're a listener, you know that I've been talking about that for a while. But I'm definitely just enjoying the moment, taking one day at a time.
What's your also too want to go to more sports this year? I really kind of low-key wanted to go to one game for every single sport.
Okay.
Like, I just want to see what's up. But what's your plan? What's your alternative plan if you don't do the NBA?
I'm gonna go to work.
Go to work sounds so daunting and depressing.
No, not if you like your job.
True.
So don't pick a job where it's work. Pick a career. So I'll probably just go to work. Maybe get my master's later. But if I don't feel that I need to, I don't know where I'll end up. I'm just rambling right now.
No. I mean, that's kind of just, but I was going to say, that reminded me of, I think, kind of the pressures that I think are put on people, especially with education. I feel like, too, just a side note, sometimes, I don't think you're first generation college student, but one thing from talking to other first gens is like they have a lot of people in there, specifically family members who aren't, they don't have an education, and they're always, you got to go do this, and you got to go get this degree, or you got to. Sometimes I feel like we're pulled into so many different directions, basically because of societal pressures or family and friend pressures. So do you kind of feel like that when you're making your decisions, or is everything what I want to do?
For sure, it's definitely so many opinions out there, and you want opinions of others, especially your friends. But when so many opinions are different, it's like, how do I choose the right opinion? So then that's when you just really dig into yourself, talk to God, and make the best decision for yourself. But yeah, it's definitely hard when you ask. I may ask for your opinion, and I may ask for someone else's opinion. They're completely different, so it's just like, what do I choose? But at the end of the day, you have to do what's best for yourself.
Yeah. I just feel like since you just keep climbing up this MBA tree, you might as well just go ahead and get to the top of it and apply.
So, I don't know. I'm definitely going to apply, and I'm going to apply the job, and I'm going to just see what happens.
Okay.
So, like, I'm gonna be talking about other jobs, but like also Dafuku, if like they were to watch it, I would want to feel some type of way.
Baby, you an intern. They know you got options.
Cause I was gonna say I'm gonna apply the job to see what's best, but I'm like, I don't want them to be like, I'm out here just.
I mean, that's just what it is. Like, when I put on, turn this on. When we hire interns and stuff, we know that they're probably going to choose a different route. Like, and then too, don't feel so bad because you think you're going to be the only person. Do you think you're the only person out there can work for Nabucco. Like,
No.
okay,
I'm
you're
not an
replaceable.
intern, though.
Cool, whatever. They can find another intern.
Okay.
I wish you would have not muted that because that's very important to talk about. Like, say that again. Say that again. So I think also too another concern for students is what is it? Guilt. There's got to be a word. Maybe we can come up with a word right now. But the guilt of feeling like you have to accept a job.
Yes. My roommate asked for a 6-week extension for his job.
I thought you were saying his name. Okay.
Yeah, so they gave him a week.
Let's talk about that. So we know somebody who got kind of bit by that guilt bug, I guess, if you want to call it that, and they were kind of indecisive and didn't know if they should say no or yeah. The job gave them a deadline to accept a position that I think started next May.
But he had to make the decision by August 3rd.
Right.
And so, in my opinion, that's so early to make a decision when we got the whole school year. I may apply to graduate school. I got 2 career fairs I know I'm going to go to. More companies going to reach out to me. Mm-hmm. So it's hard to make a decision in August when my job is not until May. So
yeah. So there's ways to handle this. One way that was proposed by his colleague was crafting a 6-week extension letter. Because he heard that somebody did that before. I would just like to say, I don't know if that's a good idea.
What's wrong with a 6-week extension?
Well, the recruiter told him what was wrong with it and revised it to a 1-week extension. It's crazy. So, I mean, think about it. If somebody offers you a job and, you say, can you give me, what is 6 weeks? Can you give me a month and a half to think about that? Just say no. Like, I just think if you need that much time to think about something, it might not be the right fit. Because to me, I think there's 2 reasons why you would only accept a job a year in advance anyways. And it's either that's your dream job and it was an immediate yes anyways, or you're not really sure of yourself enough that you're going to secure a job later on down the road. And I think your colleague is very capable of securing a job. But the decisions were made. The 6-week letter was not unfortunately accepted, but he was able to get a week extension, and I think he made his decision. So
in that case, would you accept the job and still talk to other companies, or would you just, if you're not sure, you would just decline it?
I think if I accepted the job and still talk to other companies, I wouldn't tell everybody that. But,
yeah, of course that.
First, I would pray about it. I would probably accept it if, let's just say I made a pros and cons list and the pros outweigh the cons, and I would accept it.
Okay, then say another job come along, you make another pros and cons list, and the pros outweigh the cons.
You put me on spot like this. I mean,
my point.
Well, okay, this is the thing though. If you made the decision, why you still looking? Boom.
Because from August
to
May. So
you shouldn't have accepted it then.
August to May is a long time.
Then don't accept it then.
That's why I don't even want to apply to jobs right now, because I know I can't make a decision.
I get that. Right. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You have 2 seasons of career fairs coming up. Mm-hmm. To be honest with if you graduate in May, it's recommended that you start looking for jobs 3 to 5 months beforehand.
So January,
December. For sure.
Not the summer.
March, no ifs, ands, or buts. You need to start applying.
Yeah,
because it was to, especially if you're doing full time. I wouldn't even be applying right now unless it's to an internship that starts in the summer.
Right.
But when you go out there to these jobs that are out here for full time, they're looking for somebody to start yesterday.
Yeah. Well, for his case, he interned at that place.
Right.
And after the internship, they offer. I know a lot of people like that. After the internship, they offer
you
for next year
because they're being mindful of you.
But it's so long.
That's a very rare thing, but that's just built into an internship. That's well, not very rare, but that's not normal because it was built into the internship. Okay. So if you don't, I would advise applying to jobs right now.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even probably have accepted if I know I'm going to be talking to other people.
So would you still I guess, have small talk with companies and not apply yet right now,
Yeah, that's literally what you need to do.
but just don't apply yet.
Oh,
That's
are
what
you
I'm
still
saying.
talking about if you did accept the offer?
No, okay.
You're
Say
a free agent.
free agent, and I'm a senior. I don't want to apply to a job right now because I don't want to make that decision in the next couple months.
Yeah.
But do I reach out and like just, flirt a little bit with companies until March? and
Absolutely,
stuff?
I'll be all up in their faces, trying to figure out what I need to do,
Yeah.
what's best for me. Always keeping your eye on the prize. Who's the prize? You.
Right.
Okay, but what do you want? Remember, you like variety, you like a little bit of travel, or you like to travel. You say you weren't much of a traveler, and you like to be around people. I don't know if I said that. And then also too, keep challenging yourself to step outside of your comfort box or your comfort zone, because you're gonna learn more. And that checklist that you have is gonna grow.
Right.
So by the time you get to the end of the year and it's time to start applying, you have this like mental checklist. And as you're reading these job descriptions, you're out here talking to these companies, you're gonna be like, okay, they check off that box, they check off that box. It's really hard, I think, with anything in life to find something that checks off all 100% of your boxes.
Yeah.
But we wanna try to get the closest to 100% as possible. And that's the one you're gonna walk away with. But keeping in mind to still give yourself grace, because you could walk into that position and you still don't like it. Who cares? The good news is you're still closer and closer to choosing something that's for you.
Okay. That's good advice.
Thank you. That's what I took. Career advisor. So yeah. So don't feel guilty. Don't feel guilty about not accepting jobs or like moving forward with jobs. These jobs know that you're kind of on the fence, and if they don't, I mean that's kind of odd. But we know that y'all come with options, and that you're probably looking in other ways, especially with these students want money. You know what I'm saying? So you can't be keeping nobody on the leash you ain't paying.
Right. So say a job is great and it offers, the pay is great.
It ain't great. What you talking about? We're talking about.
Never mind the
Alright, next. What's great? What's so
I'm
great?
saying
about
like the community checks off your boxes. It's just the pay isn't where
Pay is the first box, baby dog. Pay is not passion, and then purpose is the first two boxes.
You sound like a student. You don't sound like an advisor. And I'm talking about pay is the
I am a
first
student.
option.
Didn't he just say I was getting my doctorate? but no. Pay. I'm just so tired of like people trying to act like we have to be humble about this stuff.
Okay.
We got bills, okay? True. Pay is not everything, but it is in fact something.
So would you take a job that pays a lot, not as happy, a job love it, the pay's not there?
Oh, that was a versus. So
Yeah.
the pay is there. You said don't kind of like it. You said you're not that. I can live with it. I have other things in my life that make me happy.
Okay. Yeah.
What do I not like about it? Do I not? Because there's different types of like. For those who haven't had that job, you can not like something because you're just not passionate about it, or you can not like something because you're passionate about it, but you're not a big fan of like the people who you kind of work with, because that's the thing.
Yeah. So let's say.
Paint this picture better.
Say you're not as passionate about it, and you don't like the people you work with.
Ooh.
But the pay is.
What's the pay? Put a number on it. Put a number on it.
The pay is here.
What's here?
The next job, the pay is here.
Look.
But you love the people you work with. You're very passionate about it.
But I need to know the number.
I can't give a number.
No, I need to know the number.
So what is
Just
it?
make something up.
So what is it?
If you holler about some 30K, 40K, but I love everybody and everything, we just gonna have to be friends on Facebook. Maybe I can do some contractual work with them.
Okay.
But if it's over here, first of all, I wouldn't even apply to something that I'm not passionate about. So I don't know. I feel like
you're passionate about it, but you hate the environment.
Oof. Do I got a closed office door?
Next question.
That's a good option. I mean, look, everybody's happy and everything, but like, are you able to afford life? Because like, what if, yes, I'm very happy in my job, but the pay is low. So you got to think about life outside. How I'm afford to live, eat. I might not be happy anyway because I'm starving when I come into work. So you might as well go with the high paid option. But essentially, though, you shouldn't have to choose. The dream job to me is it pays. You're passionate about it, and you're making you're changing people's lives, however that may be. So that's what I try to prioritize. I don't apply well, you can't really prevent if you don't really care for the environment, but I don't apply if I'm not passionate and that number ain't looking right.
Right, okay.
And one thing I want to say about pay really quickly, you're probably like, well, what's a good number for me? Calculate your expenses and then add a little extra, okay? And then times that by the, how many months are in the year, and then, that'll let you know how much you probably need to be making.
So make a budget.
Make a budget, yeah, for sure.
I've been listening to Dave Ramsey lately, so I don't know.
What Dave talking about?
Just, he has a baby step list. I read this book.
Mhm.
That's a new hobby I have. I've been trying to read more books. But, or audio books. I feel like that counts too. But he just has a list of philosophies that you should follow. He calls them the baby steps, and it's a way to become a millionaire, essentially.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
I think he has some good practices.
You want to share some? I mean, why you just go read it?
I mean, I would have to, I don't know off the top of my head. I can look them up real quick. Do you follow any budgets? Anybody?
I used to be a big Susie, I don't know if it's Orman, Susie Orman. I think she was the one who coined the snowball effect. Did you hear that? Or maybe it was Dave. Dave.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't Susie. Okay, so maybe I am a Dave Ramsey fan, but I really do like that snowball one.
Yeah.
I think that's most applicable in my life right now.
So his baby steps are save $1,000 for your emergency starter fund. That's step one.
Agree with that one.
Pay off all debt except the house using the debt snowball. Do you agree?
Say that again?
Pay off all your debt except your house using the debt snowball. The snowball
I agree with
is
that.
you attack your smallest debt first. All your money goes to that. I mean, you gotta live though, but all your other extra money goes to that. Then the second highest debt, all your money goes to that, and just it's snowball effect. Baby step 3, save 3 to 6 months of your expenses in a fully funded emergency fund. So,
Absolutely.
So you first start with your $1,000 starter fund, take out your debt, then go get 3 to 6 months of expenses emergency fund. So you're completing your emergency fund essentially. So if you were to get fired or laid off, can you survive the next 3 to 6 months with your emergency fund?
Correct. Can we go back to the other two I wanted to bring? Okay. Like the first one you said, always have 1,000. If you can, I'm not even joking. Like some people just cannot have 1,000 in savings, and I get that. But a little bit more. Me personally, $5,000. If your transmission go out, and not only is it gone, you're gonna still be scraping for more money. Like $1,000. Those rules I think were created a little while back. $1,000 in this current economy is just not. I don't think that's a good rainy day. I think that's like a rainy hour worth of money. And then the second one was pay off all your debts except for the house.
Yeah.
I don't know if you explained why about the house, but I know as far as like it's good to pay back on a loan like that.
Right.
It's great. It's very impactful for your credit. And I know sometimes people are like, "Oh, I'm gonna try to pay it all off." Don't take your time paying that back. Pay back those credit cards though, if you have any, and all those small debts, because that's what hits your credit report and actually impacts you negatively impacts you from buying a home or a car.
So Dave actually could care less about credit. So he's not big on credit. He doesn't think you should build credit, or I mean, he thinks credit is bad, but I mean you can build it. But his whole thing is
so he says don't get a credit card.
No, he's very against credit cards because he's like college students don't know how to use a credit card.
They actually like target college students because they know y'all gonna overspend.
So for David example, he's like, I have a net worth of $100 million, but if I go to try to buy or rent an apartment, he said I'm not gonna be able to get it because my credit isn't, because he doesn't have credit.
It's a setup.
He doesn't have credit, but he's like, I have enough money to buy the apartment complex. So it's really crazy how it is.
They use credit as a way to see to prove that you can pay things back, but it's also I tell people like Discover's one of them. They target college students a lot.
Hold on, let me push my wallet down because I got a Discover card.
I got one too. So freeze right now. You can use that one. They will set you up. They give students like these large amounts on credit, like 8 to. I've even seen a kid who a freshman qualified for $20,000.
Yeah.
Close it, please. Don't use it. It builds up so fast.
I follow Dave's steps for the most part, but I do have a credit card, but I just pay it off every month. I just use it like on food and pay it off every month. Don't leave the balance hanging.
See, everybody not gonna listen to that. And that's where I think he's coming from. He's just saying don't even get. I am not against a credit card, but I'm against it for you if you know you don't know how to be responsible. I think is the word I'm looking for. It's hard for people to be responsible.
Yeah, and that's why you have that emergency fund. A lot of people, they don't have emergency fund, so when the transmission go up, credit card, and that's when you get problems.
Exactly.
So 4 is invest 15% of your household income into retirement. That's after the baby steps are in order. So don't start investing 15% until you did the other 3. Okay. So don't start investing 15% if you don't have $1,000 saved. All right. 5, save for your children's college fund. If you don't plan on having kids, if you don't have kids, I don't really know.
That's to a certain demographic right there.
All right, 6, pay off your home early, and 7, build wealth and give. He's a very big Christian guy, so he believes in giving. But I think he has good steps. I mean, everyone has their own opinion. I read Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I forgot who's the author of that, but he's big on taking on credit. So it's like when we're picking careers, you got people telling you what to do. It's different opinions. So it's just really hard to see what you're going to follow. So follow what's best for you. But I would say one thing is don't take out a lot of loans and debt if you don't need to.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Because you're always that interest. You're always going to, like, you could take out something that's 20 grand, but the interest rate might be, I think I've seen an interest rate that was like 29 point something. That's insane. But going back to what you were saying, like there's different opinions. I think it's also important to understand that people's opinions are birthed from their own experiences and perspectives. So that's why it's always important. I think I might have already said it, but take things in with a grain of salt because your perspective and your life is not the same as anybody else who's walking here. So I also too, I value a lot of people's opinions and how they walk life. And I'll ask you, I'll even go out of my way to conduct what's called like an informational interview, like how'd you get here, how'd you do this? But I'm still tuning out some things because I'm like, I know that's not gonna work for me. I know I cannot physically do that, like, you know what I'm saying? But it's nice to know.
For sure. And one thing to add about Dave Ramsey, last thing, he has this saying, it's live like no one else so you can later live and give like no one else. And so I take that as, you see your friends in the Bahamas on vacation all the time, but you may not can live that lifestyle. So Dave is saying, pay off all your debt right now, take care of your emergency fund, give, save your 15% in retirement. So later when you're older, you can retire early, you have no debt, and you can actually give back to your family as well. So your kids and future grandkids can live better as well. So live like no one else. So work hard now, but later it's gonna be worth it. I mean, take vacations and stuff. Treat yourself, but don't overly spend on your credit card. Don't go everywhere because your friends are doing it.
That's what I was about to say. I think, and then the social media doesn't help, but I think people are just really trying to keep up an image right now. There's a lot of pressure for that. But I was talking to one of my girlfriends, and she was like, she's 36, I want to say, and she was just like, your age, if it starts with a 2, all of those numbers, 22, 23, whatever, nothing but building. Focus, because I think live your life. I think it's so contradictory because you're on TikTok and you see these people with their heads hanging out the window, having a great time and it looks so fun, but later down the road, like when they're 30, 40, they're going to be doing the same thing sometimes, or it's just not, they don't have the life that they want because they didn't take the time in their 20s to build. Like when I tell you your 20s, they're going to fly. I'm telling you, they're going to fly. So I think I'm doing very well, but I wish there were some things that I could have done when I was 22 or 21 or whatever that could help build me now. But now that I'm aware, build in your 20s, 30s. I won't say your life is going to be any better or be more together, but you'll have a much better idea, hopefully a little bit more money, and then 40s and 50s and you're headed towards retirement. I don't think people really realize how beautiful retirement is. My parents are a couple years away from it, and they have colleagues and friends who are like that too, and I didn't really know what retirement looked like until every single time I'm trying to call my dad or my uncle and I'm trying to get a hold of them. They clicking the phone and they're hanging up because they out vacation or going fishing in Alaska or something really exciting, really just living their life. They wake up and do whatever they want to do.
But that's also, we're never taught that. We're never taught about loans and credit and retirement. Even when students are negotiating their contracts, they just care about that number,
Yeah.
how much they're being paid. They don't care about the benefits because we're not taught that. Unless our
Yeah.
parents teach us, school's not teaching us that. I
Yeah.
think we should. Does the Career Center offer things like that for students?
So I know in the EDHE 301 Career and Life Planning class, which is only offered to juniors and seniors, we do implement a week of financial literacy. So we do try to go out of our way to get people who are experts in financial planning to come educate students on those things you're talking about. But that's just such a micro effort, you know. Not only is that class only three classes are offered out of all the classes here.
Right.
Class size is 24 students, whatever 24 times 3 is, that's only that amount of students out of 20,000 students who now know.
So recently, I was taking my brother to an event, and I was connecting with this guy, and he works for the Mississippi Federal Credit Union. And he said he had an idea, or they used to do something where they would talk to students at Ole Miss, but kids just wouldn't show up about financial literacy. And I'm working on someone for your class. You actually texted me this morning.
Okay.
So yeah, I think they had events for students about financial literacy, credit, loans, but no one would show up because students didn't care. But I think that's a big deal for students to actually care about.
And that, my little marketing antenna went up. That engagement is like a common issue or challenge for a lot of departments around here. And I think that's just, students don't show up to events until it matters to them.
Right.
Like, you'll have, like, a common one at the Career Center is students don't show up to career advising appointments till they realize, oh, I probably should know what I want to do for the rest of my life or whatever. And they show up 2 weeks before graduation, talking about something, I don't even want to do this major anymore. What do you mean? You're about to walk across the stage with a paper? But, I went so far off, I forgot what we were talking about. What were you saying before that? You said the financial literacy, and then...
Mississippi Federal Credit Union used to hold events about financial literacy.
So I don't know if it's saying buzzwords that attract them. Like, I don't know if credit, learning how to use a credit card, buying a home, what is it that would
you should host the event at the library. I think students will be there.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So you're saying, yeah, right. That's another tactic as far as engagement is. We say meet them where they're at, meet the students where they are, and I mean, we've done all of that.
Yeah,
we've done all that, so they just have to care.
Yeah, they gotta care.
You have to. What did it say? You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink it. So I mean, I literally brought the lake to. What more do you want me to do?
Yeah, that's true. And they'll eventually care, like you said, but it's when it's too late. So I don't know what we can do to help students. I go to as many events as I can.
Yeah.
I was in Lucky Day last night. That event, it was giving out Taylor Grocery. I was there. Like, I go to many.
So where's that? You were there? Oh, Taylor Grocery. Is that what the trick is?
No, I was just. I don't know why I was there. I heard they were giving away Taylor Grocery. That's how I went. But when I was there, I knew people that was there, like Miss Vincent, Miss Jackie Vincent. She was there. She's over the Image program. And just going to different events, you meet so many people. I met Dr. Mark McLeod. I got the Purpose Passion Pay from him. I met him at an Image event. Just going to different events, you'll know who you'll meet. You'll know who you can connect with. Justin Bell, he was on a podcast previously. I met him at going to different events. I mean, we knew each other kind of, but just seeing him over and over, that they remember your face. Just networking is so important. Like I said, when I was at my brother's party he was at, and I was small talk to anyone can help you out, and that guy could possibly have a speaker for your class on financial literacy. Just asking someone how their day is, what they do, it can go a long way. So it's like, I'm excited about people we're going to have on a podcast up to come. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah.
So one is Dr. Howard, Dr. Barbara Howard. She works in the McNair program. And one day it was the Mississippi Day. And that Mississippi Day is really fun event in Oxford. It's very good for the community. It's just a whole bunch of tents. You go to the tents. We made ice cream at the Image tent, but it's a lot of fun activities. What would you call that? Like a fair? Not a fair. It's a word for that.
I was just about to say field day, but that's not it.
It's not field
Mississippi Day?
Yeah, it's Mississippi Day. I don't know what it's called, but it's just a lot of fun events for the Oxford community. And while I was there, I met Dr. Barbara Howard. And we were in the line for a food truck, and we were just talking, and then she was talking about, so are you guys gonna get your doctorate? We were like, no, we don't like school that much.
That's what people say all the time before you know it, they got doctorate attached to their name.
And she was just telling us the benefits of why we should get a doctorate degree. I was like, Dr. Howard, how about you come on our podcast and you tell the students the benefits of why they should get their doctorate degree. You know, it can change some of their minds.
Yeah.
So that's Dr. Howard. We have Jason Gibson. He's working on his doctorate degree. He's a professor at Tougaloo College in Jackson, Mississippi, and he's a pastor. He has his own brand. I don't want to say it right now because I may mess it up. I'll mention it again later. He's an author as well, a motivational speaker. I met him at a pool party and just talked to him, asked him how he was. I said, I've seen you before on LinkedIn. We had a lot of mutuals there. He said, I'd love to be on the podcast.
Yeah.
Jordan Bush, he's a fitness. The lights cut off on us.
Oh, it's slow motion. Okay, so we gotta do this one time. Got you.
So Jordan Bush is a fitness coach. He was actually my coach back in high school. He would coach me at D1 Sports in Madison. And he's just very nice, very hardworking, very good guy. After training me a year later, he was training Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson is the #1 receiver in the National Football League. He trained John Morant. He was in the Paris Olympics recently. So I'm very excited about him. And we also have Mr. Lee Cockrell. Mr. Lee Cockrell is the former vice president of Disneyland. And like I said, I was talking to a lady that I was babysitting for her son and just asking her what she did and told her about my podcast. She said, you should reach out to Lee. And just simple talking to someone, asking them how they are, asking them who they know, telling them about yourself can go a long way. And I'm thankful for that, and I'm thankful for what we have to come.
Yeah. So really excited, looking forward to the fall and just wrapping up everything and get into it. So stay tuned for our next episode, which is with Lee Cockrell.
Lee Cockrell is the next episode. It'll be fun.
Yeah. He's a phenomenal speaker, so I'm really excited to see what he's going to say on the podcast.
What's a good motivational quote to lead us out?
Oh my God.
You're so good at these.
I literally have like one.
Okay, what is that one?
Is that the one you want me to say?
Yes.
Why? What does it have to do with anything?
Okay,
I'll say it. So, what was it?
The quote she
sometimes
made,
I just don't know what this has to do with anything. But since he wants me to,
I just want a good way to end us out. I don't want to just stop. Maybe like a fun question, a quote.
I do know. I'm gonna say it again. Make sure as we enter this school year that we seriously keep it very demure, very mindful, and very professional. Okay. Keep it cool, okay? Keep it very cutesy. Well, don't ask me that.
That was terrible.
What's your quote?
Hotty toddy. How do you stop this?
Oh my gosh.